Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Joseph. Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal. We're doing another Lilliac reaction, but now by popular demand to do an original material from them, with the first song being Mars, particularly the live performance, because you guys wanted to have me see how well they're able to play live. And it's going to be interesting. I've mentioned that I like their energy, I like their approach. It's going to be interesting how they are when it comes to their own songwriting. Because especially sometimes younger bands need that experience to learn how to write proper songs. So perhaps I might like it, I might dislike it. All you can expect from me is, if I dislike it, I never shit on a band. I try to be as expressive as I can be to explain what I like and what I don't like in particular songs. So just be prepared for that. Let's jump into it right away without any further ado, and let's see what we got here. Gonna be interesting. This is gonna be exciting. I love her energy. Good job. Okay, I know he's gonna keep playing. I just kind of want to give a little. You can tell he's classically trained, clean playing. But the most important part of this whole thing is he maintains his emotion and rawness in the playing of his guitar, and it's so apparent and so beautiful, so nice. And I gotta stop saying the word, man. These young people can play their ass off. So I should stop saying that. They know what they're doing. Let's see how they perform live. Let's see when the song kicks in. I love his hair, by the way. Badass. Represent Romania.
Alright, give it up for Sam!
I know it's gonna kick into high gear. I just want to say that they're reincarnation of the 60s and 70s. Um, you see it in their very heart and their very soul when they're playing. It's such a reincarnation of music of the past, and you see their genuine love for it. It's just, you can hear it. It's like the song has only just started, maybe 30-40 seconds, and you can feel it throughout. And her voice, I like the, for example, she's not Pavarotti or something like that, who's going to try to sing every single high note. I think she wins over, despite having a powerful voice, she wins over with her uniqueness of her voice. And that's the most attractive feature for me personally, as somebody listening and hearing it, is that she sounds like her. There's nobody, she's not trying to imitate somebody else or copy somebody else. She has her own unique vocal performance style. I have a feeling that most likely Sam writes the music as the eldest out of them, probably with the most amount of experience. And I still feel like the keyboardist and the bass player, they're still coming into their own skin, because you can see the attitude and the comfort being on stage from the drummer, the guitarist, and the singer. They're a lot more comfortable being on stage and performing in front of people. Whereas I feel like expressing themselves as who they are, they're still learning. The bass player and the keyboards are still learning how to be comfortable to express themselves, because people are gonna love them for who they are, because they already love their music. And those who don't like them, that's just not gonna like them. That's just kind of how it is, right? You have to learn to understand that not everybody's gonna like you, and just be yourself 100%. And I really love how much the drummer, her energy's in there, and she's loving the moment. The guitar, they're all loving the moment. And the bass player very much reminds me of, in his chillness, of the Judas Priest bass player. Because in Judas Priest, if you ever seen them live, they're all going insane. The drummer, Rob Halford, is like walking around on motorcycles doing all this, and the bass player just in the background, just like chilling and playing the bass all the time. He never goes crazy. That's kind of his attitude. But anyway, let's get back into it. Her smile is infectious. Or I should say infectious. The pure joy in her eyes, it makes everything so much better. It's like, it's hard to explain when you're there, especially, and you're enjoying the live performance, and you see the musicians enjoying themselves and how much they love being in this exact place, and they're grateful for everything they've gotten. For some reason, you just tend to enjoy the moment even more. And you can tell when there's somebody there who doesn't want to be there, or who's nervous and feel like they don't belong. You can feel that as well. And it's something that you gain more and more through time as you become more and more experienced to be 100% your genuine self. And the fact that they're able to get it at this young age, I think is absolutely beautiful, because let me tell you, I didn't get it at their age. I was probably in my late 20s before I got any sort of comfort with who I am and being comfortable to who I want to be.
I'm on my way to the world of a magic place. Yes, yes, here we stand.
He's definitely the youngest.
Here we are, we're going to Mars. See the world upon my shoulders, yeah. Will you take my hand, take my hand, and fly, and fly, and fly away with me, yes, yeah.
You know what you can hear in her voice now from, I believe Last in Line is probably older than this. In Last in Line, there was a little bit of her singing being on this kind of one tone, where I think she was still gaining her ability as a singer to really be able to be a lot more introduce a lot more range in her singing. And here she's really on full display of what she can do. And even then, I don't think she's at the top of her game yet. I think as a singer, she's only going to get better. It's one of those things with musicians, like a lot of times in their later years, let's say, well, again, just to use an example, I can always come up to Judas Priest. The way they can play now and what he can do with his voice now, it's especially if they take care of it. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's the people like Meatloaf or somebody who actually lost his voice by not taking care of it properly, and obviously not taking care of his health. So if they're healthy and strong, their skill is only going to rise through the roof, and they're only going to get better than this. And they're all going to get better as musicians and perhaps songwriting as well, which I actually really like this song. I feel like I'm either listening to like a He-Man intro or a like some kind of 80s fantasy film intro.
I'm on my way to Mars, where the magic never dies. On my way to Mars, and you can see the speed of light. On my way to Mars, and take your breath of life. On my way to Mars, whoa, whoa.
That was awesome. You know what I would like to see from them a little bit more though is they said they call themselves vamp metal, that they play vamp metal. And this is in no way demeaning who they are at all. I mean, this is old school 70s and 80s heavy metal of the time, whether it be Merciful Fate, whether it be Black Sabbath, whether it be Judas Priest, whether it be Accept, whether it be Udo, whether it be like, you know, those that era good examples of old school heavy metal in a newer age with what I think they call stoner metal, like The Sword. They play that type of metal. If they say vamped metal and they want to kind of introduce their more gothic roots, I would like to personally hear them kind of explore their lineage of being from Romania, and Romania has very interesting traditional music. So perhaps somehow infusing that, especially that they have a keyboardist to be able to do that, infusing somehow Romanian style of folk music into theirs with this traditional rock, I think would be quite an interesting combination. Uh, but again, I have to listen to more of the songs. Maybe they were actually already done that before. So it'll just be interesting to hear that overall. And I know they call that the people who've become fans of their music, they're vamped. They've been basically bitten by the vampire. I think that's really cool. It's nice to create these little gimmicks around your band, like Manowar calls their fans Man of Warriors, and they have this kind of a grip here, and I love all that cheesy 70s 80s like kind of over the top Kiss, the makeup. I always loved all that. I totally fall into it and I love it. I don't find it to be stupid like a lot of young people do now, because I grew up in that era. I grew up with that kind of music, and our father raised on this kind of music, so it's partial to my heart automatically. And if anything, after listening to their original material, I can say I'm becoming a bigger fan of what they're doing. Is it something that I would pick out of a hat automatically as my favorite genre of music? Perhaps not. I tend to listen to traditional heavy metal, but less so. I tend to lean more on the more extreme side of heavy metal, but I always have that mood to come back to listen to something like this from time to time. And I think as I become a bigger fan of Liliac, I'm just going to start exploring their discography. I believe they have, what, one album or two albums out? You guys can let me know down below in the comments. But that's my overall kind of thoughts on this particular song, thoughts of them as a band, thought of them as musicians, and thoughts on them, how much they're enjoying themselves on stage. I know you guys already recommend a bunch of songs from them. I'm going to cover Enter Sandman a little bit later on in the week, so you can see that reaction as well. So far, I'm loving it. I don't have to pretend to like it or enjoy it. Hopefully, you enjoyed this reaction, and if you did, make sure to subscribe down below for more, and be on the lookout for my recommendation videos so you can see what albums I would want to recommend for you to check out that I think are awesome, so we can start sharing music back and forth, because that's what it's all about. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one.